Okay, so I'm excited. This is the first time that I'll be speaking for something like this. But I have always been an advocate for mental health. And entirety is my favorite word. And as we go along, you're going to find out why it is my favorite word and maybe yours. So, before anything else, I would like to ask you, how do you view life? Do you only love it because you're happy? Or do you love it because it gives you blessings and excitement? Or as a whole, even through the pain, through the heartbreaks, you push forward and you just shine your light and love. And again, I'm Marlo Mortel. I am not just a singer-songwriter. I am a son. I am a proud breadwinner. And I am a dreamer. So I'm just gonna give a brief background about who I am. I'm an only child. And growing up, I was a very sickly child. And my mother was my anchor. She was with me all throughout. Um, but unfortunately, last 2018, she left us. It was the saddest moment of my life. Um, she was my purpose, and I did everything that I had to do because of her. I started my career in the industry as an actor, as a singer, but what gave me happiness and excitement is that I get to give back to my mother, and of course my dad as well. And I didn't know how I was able to get or move past that because cancer isn't cheap. Um, since I was the only one working, I had to provide every day of my life for her needs. Um, it was tough because my mom is a very simple woman. She didn't have much clothes and she never goes out. She's just only with me. So there were times when she's crying, coming up to me that she needs 200K for a blood test. And then there was a time my dad and my mom were crying because they need 500,000 for an open chest surgery. And I didn't care about the money. What I cared about is she lives. And every day I just worked different jobs. I was a morning show host, and then I go straight to taping, I go straight to events just to keep on um, giving. And when I wasn't working, I was at home taking care of her or in the hospital. And then my dad was lining up for the free treatments and all. We're still blessed because we extended her years. And I was about to go bankrupt one time, 2017, because it's just too expensive. But a lot of the people in the industry helped when I had my um, fundraising concert. Um, I'm sharing this because it's been a tough life for me. And I'm sure that a lot of you also are experiencing difficulties, but you have no choice but to push forward. And as a singer-songwriter, music is the one that really helped me to to fight. There were times I couldn't sleep at night anymore because of what's happening in the family. So I wrote a song called I Pray. It says, "Oh Lord, I pray, give her all the strength she needs. Oh Lord, I pray, she won't lose her faith, no, not a minute. Oh Lord, I pray that you will never ever take her away from me." Um, that song was my last gift to her on Mother's Day. It was 2018, and we released that song and music video, and we watched it together. Unfortunately, after a few months, she passed away. I lost purpose and I lost myself. I didn't want to work anymore. But, I still have my dad with me, and I still have my dreams with me. And I just kept going. not knowing that after a few years, I will experience the hardest moment of my life. So definitely my mom's passing, saddest. But the hardest was fighting with myself because I didn't expect that anxiety would um, come after me. I didn't even know what that was. So during the pandemic, I experienced a tough season of anxiety, and I thought I was gonna die every day. Do you also experience that? Sometimes you get anxious and you feel like a lot of bad things are going to happen to you. That was my life every day. It's not because of the pandemic, it's because of something that happened to my friend that apparently was my greatest fear. And I'm not going to disclose it right now. So every day I was thinking, like, would that happen to me? Or because my thoughts are so deep, like, am I real? Am I human? Or am I seeing something else? So that those thoughts scare me every day, and anxiety scared me because it leads to panic attacks, and then it feels like your anxiety is like just flowing all over your body, and I couldn't move. I was crippled by that feeling, and the lack of awareness it really it really showed during that time because I didn't know what mental health problems were. Like depression, I know it's just surface level. That's you're sad, and then anxiety, I didn't know at all. So when I learned about it, number one is two different things: anxiety and depression. Very opposite. Anxiety is when you're too scared and you don't want to die. You're gonna have like anxious thoughts every day, or you feel like you're gonna have panic attacks. Depression is not having a purpose in life and feeling so down and so sad you don't want to live anymore. Two different things, but people mix it up. When I tell people about what I'm feeling, those who don't understand, even if it's your family or friends, they would just tell you, oh, it's just in your mind and everything else. But that's the worst thing you could tell someone that is experiencing that because they're already fighting that battle within their minds, within our minds. So I'm happy that uh, I have friends who understood, and the best thing you can say to someone experiencing that is to acknowledge your thoughts. Let it pass. Because if you keep on repelling it, it will just keep getting bigger until you explode in your mind. So number one, thoughts are just thoughts. That's what I learned. If you think that you're gonna die because of a plane crash or you're gonna have a heart attack, especially for people who are anxious, they tighten here and here, so it definitely feels like you're gonna have a heart attack, but that ain't true. So if I think like my mom is here right now, she's not with me, right? So not all thoughts are valid, and not all will come true unless you act on it. And when you finally figure that out, and once you get the flow, you have to keep those thoughts flowing like water. You know, like when some other people talk about it, when you shake a bottle, if it's water, it will flow. So it's very adaptive. But if it's soda, it will explode. So you always have to keep an open mind and make it more like water. So during that time, while I was crippled, I kept helping myself every day. I kept on looking for sources where I can find that strength. Of course, number one, I activated what I already have, like faith, and my family and friends, like I said. But faith is good. It gives you hope, inspiration. But without facts, without being knowledgeable about something, you will not know how to treat what you're going through, especially if it's a medical condition, right? And during that time, I wrote songs because that's my escape. And one song that I wrote is called Mahina. It's about gaining strength from your weaknesses. So I'm gonna do a few lines of it. So it goes something like this. Ngunit ako'y mahina, mas mahina sa iba. Nakangiting kunwari, ngunit mga mata'y lumuluha. Walang ibang nadarama, kundi kalungkutan. Oh, Tama na, pero gusto ko ba? Oh, pwede ba? Huwag mo muna akong iwan. Actually, wag mo muna akong iwan is for myself. That in the hardest times, I won't leave me. So I had to take care of myself. That's number two. You really have to holistically take care of you as a human being. And the next step that I did was to study neuroscience. Because I'm the type of person who just don't, who digs deep. So I really want to find out what really goes on in the brain, what really goes on from the origin of something, the world, the universe, and that's really difficult for an overthinker. And I studied. I won't go into the specifics. Basically, it helped me because I saw the science of it, like how there are chemicals in the brain, and how not every brain is similar. Some have chemical imbalances that has to be treated with medicine, and some can be treated with therapy. So I highly encourage that when you feel something, when you think of something, you feel like you have a severe anxiety, depression, you go seek help. It will benefit you in many ways. But of course, in the Philippines, there is still a stigma, and that affected me. So I hope you guys don't experience what I had to go through. So that anxiety went on for months, but still I kept on pushing forward. I kept on breaking free from the chains. I was working every day. I discovered streaming, and I sometimes have panic attacks while I stream. But good thing is being connected with people, you get to learn from them as well. And of course, you have to choose the people that you talk to. Some may give you more anxiety and more bad thoughts. So you really have to choose those people who are knowledgeable. And through that, I also wrote another song. It's called Between. It talks about finding that inner light. Just like the stars, they always shine. Sometimes the darkness, it covers the glow of a star. And that's what I thought of myself. Sometimes the problems that I experience, it may be too heavy, but if I know how to access the light within me, and if I know how to find it, even through the desperate times, I can shine. I can make it, and I can survive, and be the better version of myself. And that's what happened to me. I learned so much, and through the neuroscience certificates that I got, I also get to share it whenever I talk to people who are experiencing mental health problems. And I even have a tattoo right here, like a brain, but of course it has the heart behind it. It means not just wearing your heart on your sleeve, but also wearing your brain, your mind, and your heart, because it's connected. And moving forward, after a few months, I was able to overcome it. What really helped me also is whenever at night, when I'm having anxiety attacks, I search through YouTube. Sometimes I see TED Talks that speak of mental health, and it helps me. Seeing people who experienced it and who had to experience it every day, and they overcome, it gives you strength. And most of the time, my friends also and the people who know me, they now ask me for advice and help of how they can go through it. And entirety, that's my favorite word, because I also love to read. And Think Again by Adam Grant is life-changing for me. It helped me have an open mind and let it be adaptive of times. And there was an astronaut, I believe his name is Edgar, who said that if you just have an overview of the world, because from the space, you see how tiny the world is. If you just have if you view life in its entirety, you're gonna see how petty, like the wars we have here, the politics, you're gonna see how tiny it is that from space it doesn't even matter. But in here, we make it a big thing. So that's like problems in our life. Sometimes you feel like it's too heavy and that you're gonna die and that you feel like you're worthless and everything. All of that, if you just think more little of yourself and the world and have this full view of what's around you, like the surroundings, the nature, then you're gonna have a better understanding. And that's why for my third song, Tado, it's not a bad word, that I did about mental health, it's about being connected. It's about freeing myself, just jumping into the unknown instead of being scared all the time. You have to be connected, conectado, at hindi limitado. And not limiting yourself to your beliefs, to what the people think about you. You have to keep on exploring, you have to keep getting curious, and you have to know what works for you. And recently, I came back to school because I didn't graduate because I was a fourth year at San Beda, Alabang when I was cast as a Nicolo on Be Careful with My Heart. But recently, I was given a scholarship at Enderan College, and I was studying multimedia arts for 2 years. So I'm happy for all the blessings that came my way after learning so much. So sometimes you have to really experience drowning before you can finally fly. And living life and loving life in its entirety will let you appreciate your family, your friends, your body, the nature, and how it gives you love and how it gives you life instead of the people that might break you, instead of the experiences that might break you. I lost my mother. I almost felt like dying because of the super severe anxiety that I had to go through. But I'm here. I'm just watching TED Talk before, but now I get to talk in front of you guys. So this is a blessing, and I hope that through this wonderful talk that I have given, a piece of me, you also get to live and love life in its entirety.